Good morning, class. It's Friday morning. Going to try to get some video uploaded for you. Let's start with page 824, transfer and order instrument. There's two different types of instruments. There's order instruments, and the way we know it's an order instrument is because it says pay to the order of. The other type of instrument would be a bearer instrument. And a bearer instrument is one that says pay to the order of or bear or pay to bearer. Now, the difference between those two, and this is where endorsements come into play, is in order to transfer an order instrument, the instrument has to be endorsed and transferred. If it's a bearer instrument, it just has to be transferred. It does not require an endorsement. Although most banks are going to require you to endorse this bearer instrument so that they can impose endorser liability on you. A check paid to the order of Brad Pyra is an order instrument. A check paid to cash is a bearer instrument. So let's look at these different types of endorsements on page 825. We have a special endorsement in which we then can say pay to the order of and then name the person we're going to transfer it from and sign it. So pay to the order of Mason and then signed Brad Pyra would be a special endorsement. Okay, we then have a blank endorsement, and that is I just sign it Brad Pyra. Now, if I sign the back of my check Brad Pyra, that instrument now becomes bearer paper. Anyone could take it and cash it, transfer it without an endorsement. If, on the other hand, I take and make a special endorsement on it, that maintains its status as order paper. So we can actually take this check and we can change it between order paper and bearer paper by the endorsement that we do on it. So we make out a check, pay to Mason, and pay to Mason then makes it order paper. Mason then does just a blank endorsement. It's now bearer paper. And then Mason transfers it to Edna, and Edna puts on it pay to the order of Sam, Edna. It now becomes order paper again. So we can take this check and we can make it order paper, bearer paper, depending on how the endorsement is done. Next, we have a restrictive endorsement for deposit only, for example, would be the type of restrictive endorsement. And on page 827, we have a qualified endorsement, and what a qualified endorsement says is without recourse, and then sign it Brad Pyra. And what that means is without recourse, that means that I don't have liability. If something goes wrong with the check, I don't have any endorser liability. To be honest with you, I have never seen a bank that would accept a qualified endorsement. You just never see it. I've asked several tellers that have been in my class, have you ever seen a qualified endorsement? And they all say no. But that is kind of the textbook kind of thing. It is possible to sign without recourse. Sign it without recourse. I'm just not sure that you can get anybody to take that instrument after you put without recourse on it. Okay, on page 829 now are the requirements for holder in due course. That's really the guts of this chapter, is holder in due course, for value, in good faith, without notice. And then you see 3, 4, and 5, and 6 then becomes all the reasons or all the requirements of the without notice language. Good faith, without notice has been overdue or dishonored. All right, page 837, the shelter rule. What the shelter rule says is, number one, that if I receive an instrument for a holder in due course, even if I, in fact, are not a holder in due course because I fail one of the requirements, say I received this instrument as a gift, so I haven't given value, but the person that gave it to me as a gift was a holder in due course, I get the rights of a holder in due course, even though I fail one of the requirements of being a holder in due course. Okay? There is one exception to that rule, and that is I cannot improve my position with the shelter rule. So that if I receive an instrument, fail to be a holder in due course, but transfer it to someone that becomes a holder in due course, and then get it back from that person that I transferred it from, I cannot get the benefits of the shelter rule. That's the kind of the I cannot improve my position with the shelter rule. Okay, so what that means, what being a holder in due course means, is that I take this instrument free of any personal defenses. And so on page 837 and 838, you see this list of personal defenses. So if I'm a holder in due course, the person that I'm trying to collect from cannot use any of these defenses to defeat my claims. However, on page 836, you see the real defenses. Real defenses can be used to defeat my claims. Personal defenses cannot. Federal Trade Commission regulation. Make sure you read that and understand that. So let's do a couple of these cases to get started. Okay, so let's start on the cases. Case 1. This person appeared at a real estate closing. At the closing, a check drawn on Fleet Bank account, the attorney handling the transaction payable to ABM AMRO Mortgage. They then took this and put it into their own account, not into the account, not into the proper account. And so, because this is a check paid to the order of, it has to be endorsed and then transferred. And it has to be endorsed by the person who it was made payable to, ABN AMRO Mortgage. Because they didn't endorse it, it was not a valid transfer, and they're going to be able to get the money back. All right, case 2. Endorsed in blank, which meant that they were bearer paper, so anyone could take and deposit them. They could be transferred without an endorsement. The way to overcome the problem in case 2 is by using a restrictive endorsement that says for deposit only. In case 3, we basically have that happening, in which they did a restrictive endorsement. The bank then accepted those checks and put them into the wrong account. And it was paid inconsistent with the endorsement, and therefore, in case 3, they're going to be able to get their money back because the bank didn't deposit those consistent with the endorsement and the name on the check. Case 4 is because this person signed their check in blank. It is bearer paper, and a transfer can take place without an endorsement, which is what happened here. And so therefore, assuming the auto store took it in good faith, remember, good faith is one of the requirements to be a holder in due course, but assuming they took it in good faith, yes, they can be a holder in due course. In case 5 is actually a really simple case, because all of a sudden I receive this document, and after I receive this document, then I go and attempt to cash it. I claim that I'm a holder in due course. Well, I can't be a holder in due course on this instrument because I didn't give any value for it. I didn't give value for it. Now, value does not necessarily have to be face value. But if I get it for free, or if I get it at a 90% discount, first of all, you didn't give value. Now, I can't give you a percentage amount, but it's got to be, probably 70, 80%, depending on what the due date of the instrument is. But I just can't come along and say, hey, I've got this instrument, I found this instrument, and therefore I'm a holder in due course, and I want to now cash this instrument. It doesn't work that way. There's no value that's been given. And so that's the critical part then. Cutting through all the other stuff, they did not give value for the instrument, and therefore they cannot claim holder in due course status. All right, we will work on this some more on Monday. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.